Have you ever heard the saying, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step? These timeless words come from a figure as mysterious as the wisdom he shared, Laozi. The ancient Chinese sage, who was this man, often depicted as a wise old master riding an ox. Was he a real historical person, a collection of legends, or something in between? Today, we're going to journey back in time, over 2,500 years ago, to uncover the story of Laozi and the profound philosophy he left behind, the Tao Te Ching. Our story begins in the 6th century BC, during a turbulent period in Chinese history known as the Spring and Autumn period. The once mighty Zhou dynasty was crumbling, and various states were locked in a constant struggle for power. It was a time of chaos and uncertainty, but also a time of great intellectual awakening, known as the 100 Schools of Thought. Philosophers roamed the land, offering their solutions to the world's problems. Among them, a quiet, unassuming figure was about to change the course of spiritual history, according to tradition. Laozi, whose name simply means Old Master, was born Lear. He served as a keeper of the archives in the royal court of Zhou. Imagine him, day after day, surrounded by scrolls and records of the past, observing the rise and fall of dynasties, the endless cycles of human ambition and folly. It was here, amidst the dust of history, that he likely began to formulate his own unique understanding of the world. He saw that human laws and ambitions often led to conflict and suffering. He looked instead to the natural world, the way water flows effortlessly, the way trees grow without striving, and saw a deeper, more fundamental principle at work. He called this principle the Tao, which translates to the way. The Tao, for Laozi, is the natural, spontaneous, and effortless flow of the universe. It's not a god to be worshipped, but a cosmic force to be understood and harmonized with. While other thinkers like Confucius were busy creating complex systems of ethics, rituals, and social order to fix society, Laozi offered a radically different approach: do less. He believed that the more humans try to interfere and control things, the more they mess things up. His philosophy, which became known as Taoism, is all about letting go, embracing simplicity, and acting in harmony with the natural flow of life. This is the concept of Wu Wei, often translated as non-action or effortless action. It doesn't mean being lazy. It means acting without struggle. Like a boatman steering his vessel along the river's current instead of trying to row against it. As Laozi grew older, he became disillusioned with the corruption and decay of the Zhou court. He saw that the world was not listening to his quiet wisdom. So he decided to leave. This is where his story takes a legendary turn. He saddled up his water buffalo and began a journey west, heading towards the uncharted frontiers, seeking solitude. As he reached the Western Pass, the final gateway out of the civilized world, he was stopped by a gatekeeper named Yinshi. Yinshi, who had seen an auspicious purple cloud approaching from the east, knew a great sage was coming. He recognized Laozi and pleaded with him not to disappear from the world without leaving behind his wisdom for future generations. He begged Laozi to write down his teachings. Laozi, moved by the gatekeeper's sincerity, agreed. He paused his journey, took up a brush, and in a short burst of inspiration, wrote a small book of just 5,000 characters. This text was the Tao Te Ching, which means the classic of the way and its virtue. After handing the manuscript to Yinshi, Laozi climbed back onto his ox and rode off into the mist, never to be seen again. The story of his departure is beautiful, but is it true? Historians and scholars have debated this for centuries. There's very little concrete historical evidence for Laozi's existence. The first mention of him appears in the writings of the historian Sima Jin. Almost 400 years after Laozi was said to have lived, Sima Jin himself seemed uncertain, presenting several conflicting accounts of who Laozi might have been. Some scholars believe Laozi was not a single person, but a composite figure, or that the Tao Te Ching was a collection of sayings gathered over many years by different anonymous sages. But in a way, whether Laozi was one man or many doesn't change the power of his message, the Tao. Te Ching survived, and its influence has been immeasurable. It became the foundational text of Taoism, which evolved into one of China's major spiritual and philosophical traditions alongside Confucianism and Buddhism. Taoist masters and hermits through the ages have sought to live by its principles. retreating to the mountains to meditate and live in harmony with nature. Its ideas have also deeply influenced Chinese art, poetry, medicine, and even martial arts like Tai Chi, which emphasizes fluid, natural movements. What's truly amazing is how this short, ancient text continues to resonate with people all over the world today. In our fast-paced, high-stress modern lives, the message of the Tao Te Ching feels more relevant than ever. Its call for simplicity reminds us to find joy in the little things. Its concept of wu-wei teaches us to stop fighting against the current of life and learn to go with the flow. It encourages us to be more like water, gentle yet powerful, humble yet persistent, capable of overcoming any obstacle not through force, but by yielding. Laozi taught that the greatest strength is found in gentleness, the richest life in simplicity, and the deepest knowledge in humility. He wrote, "To know that you do not know is the highest attainment." It's a powerful reminder that the quest for wisdom isn't about accumulating facts, but about opening ourselves to the great mystery of existence. So who was Laozi? A court archivist? A legendary sage? The author of one of the world's most profound books? Perhaps he was all of these things, or perhaps, in the true spirit of Taoism, the answer is less important than the question itself. The legacy of Laozi is in a historical record. As a living philosophy, a path, a way that invites each of us to slow down. Look at the world with fresh eyes and find our own effortless flow. The old master may have ridden off into the West, but his wisdom remains with us, as timeless and as natural as the Tao itself. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the past. If you enjoyed this exploration of history and philosophy, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more stories like this. See you next time.